Alright everyone, we start off today with very good news. Hillary Clinton is officially out for 2024, ending her political career. She went on CBS and was queried, like literally every other time she talks to the legacy media, "Oh, madam, you're so great, and so beautiful, and so powerful, and so smart. Will you please run for the presidency?" "No," she says, "I'm not planning to do that." So her career is over. There will be no more Clintons. There will be no more Bushes. The American people have said no enough, and apparently Hillary Clinton is the first to actually get the memo. We hope that the rest of the dynastic neocons and neolibs eventually follow suit and see the writing on the wall for what it really is. The boomerism of the Clinton era, therefore, takes another last gasp before its corpse finally begins decomposing. Link in the description, archived of course. You can read this for yourself. Also, second link, and I'll pin it above to Pixel Planet coordinates. Keep getting turning Turkey blue. This is a punitive action now because the Turks had been driven back out of Greece, and then we withdrew after they had invaded in the first place, and then they just kept it up. So this is now a punitive action, no longer a defensive action. So keep pounding away. We took over Cyprus as well as most of the Anatolian west coast and retook Constantinople in a single night. So it's pretty good progress with our Greek and Bulgarian allies. Bulgaria now liberated as well. They had been invaded for unknown reasons also. I guess Turkey's switched to the other side. They're busy taking over Armenia at the moment. I don't know exactly what's happening here, but it's funny anyway. It helps with my ADHD because I can pixel some things in between a few pages of editing or making a video or whatever. Anyway, this is great news. We should celebrate this. Clinton will not be coming back. This, by the way, I think is predicated on several important things. If Donald Trump is not the Republican nominee, if he tries to run, sorry, my apologies. He tries to run. The Democrats have no choice but to drag out the age issue to try to block him. They know that going into 2024, they're going to be at a massive disadvantage. The economy is going to get worse before it gets better. Europe is looking at recession. That means they will be buying a lot less from the U.S. The U.S. has an energy crisis right now, entirely self-inflicted by Bidenomics. You have China slowing down. All of these things are contributing to a situation where the world economy is beginning to become unstable. The Democrats will probably be incumbent at the time that things really begin to get messy. So if the economy is the number one issue in the midterms, and she's carefully looking at what those races do, I guarantee the Republicans take the House, for example. She's looking at that and saying, is it going to get better in the subsequent couple of years? No, it's not going to get better. And because Joe Biden may be crazy enough to run, he would be automatic incumbent, he sweeps the field, which is hilarious. They might be crazy enough to allow him to run again. Or they have to kick out their own incumbent, leading to an extremely messy goddamn primary. And no Democrat, I think, really wants to be the victor after such a primary. This is why they're astroturfing so hard to create a messy primary for the Republicans, even though Trump has sky-high support in party and something like 55% of the primary vote sewn up, plus multiple states due to technical incumbency right off the bat. They are trying desperately to get someone like DeSantis who can at least get near the double-digit polling mark to run against him to make it seem like the Republicans are just as messed up as they will inevitably be approaching the 24 election. Wise Democrats will sit it out. Warren will probably sit it out. And the other problem is that they'll have to bring up the age question if Trump is the victor. They'll say, well, do we really need a gerontocracy? Look at all these old fogies. Well, if you end up with a Dem primary, Hillary Clinton's the same age as Donald Trump. Same with Elizabeth Warren. Bernie Sanders is older. Most of the heavy hitters that the Democrats have can't make use of that argument. The Democrats will have to bring in someone younger. They might end up having no choice but to go with someone like Kamala. And she'd lose. They are desperate right now. This is not a choice that she's making willingly. She would love to be the president of the United States, if only for a term, and that's probably all she'd get because she'd mess up just as badly as Joe Biden is. She wants it, but she can't have it. And she's really, really bitter and angry about this and has shown this multiple times. She's pivoting to the, well, it's not going to be me, but I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure democracy is protected against Orange Man. Have you noticed over the last few days, as the Mar-a-Lago probe begins to falter and people begin to realize it's just another Russiagate, have you realized how many Democrats have pivoted to, viable Democrats, have pivoted to that kind of line. It's not just Hillary Clinton. There are a lot of people that are indicating, effectively, I'm likely to sit it out, but I promise to keep fighting. Nikki Fried, after losing to Crist, for example. Well, now it's our job to kick out DeSantis. It's a microcosm, the Floridian race, microcosm of what's happening nationwide with their Trump derangement syndrome. We must stop Orange Man at all costs because things were so terrible when he was president. Yeah, those 3 years of no new wars and a roaring economy, it was just terrible times. Clearly the American people prefer the current state of affairs, That's why something like 75% of the U.S. public believes the country's headed in the wrong direction at the moment. By the way, it hit near record lows actually only about a month ago. It mildly recovered because some partisan Democrats got their way and decided to hop back on the Biden short bus. That's basically their calling for the midterms. Hey, Biden did something. Yes, a year and a half belatedly, after totally ignoring these issues for that entire period of time, but give the old man credit. I mean, it takes him a long time just to get up in the morning and down his prune juice and have his fucking bowel movement. Clinton being out is an unmitigated success and virtue for the nation. It is extremely good that she will not be rearing her ugly, hideous fucking pig-like head in another election. Thank goodness. But she's not going to retire with grace. That's not the Clinton way. She will spend the rest of her life making more money grifting, probably do another tell-all book, and then 10 million copies will sell, but only in China. Nobody will know why. This is the Clinton MO. Grift, grift, grift. Greedy, greedy grabs. Wriggling worm. Grab up all the money that you can. Do some backroom dealing. Hey, I served as a proxy for your campaign. Now you owe me. Hey, I just killed a dude in your district. Can you please make sure the investigation botches the forensic evidence? This is the way that the mafioso Clinton family really works. So don't expect her to be gone. She's definitely telling the truth when she says she continues to interfere in the U.S. political system, mostly through backroom dealing with the deep state. The Clintons are still owed a few favors. I guess she doesn't quite have enough favors to be owed the presidency, but she still has enough to affect the course of politics, make no mistake. Nonetheless, of course, this is a huge success. No more Clintons, and at this point, no more Bushes. They've been swept aside. This is one thing that even the most severe Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, I've seen them giving Trump credit for. He ended the Bush, Clinton, Cheney families completely. He ended the McCains. He crushed numerous neocon, neolib political dynasties. They give him credit for that, even when they think that Orange Man should be outright jailed, even though they think that he should be in the funny farm or something like that and completely failed. Even they give him credit for that. By the way, so would the liberals if they remembered what they were saying 10 years ago, but these people now, you have them praising the FBI and saying that due process bad, so I don't know. They've completely flown the coop. They flew over the cuckoo's nest 3 or 4 fucking times, shitting the entire way. Just like Hillary Clinton tried to do to our nation. That's about all. Peace out.